Hey guys, so today I'm going to talk about my birth and, well, as in my birth into becoming a mother and my baby's birth because it's my baby's birthday today. Yay! So I tried to film this video yesterday and was very unsuccessful because my baby is taking like the shortest naps these days, and honestly, like, the struggle is real, guys. Like, on one side, I just really want her to like be independent and like take longer naps and like give me more time to myself. But then on the other side, I'm like, you know what? There's gonna be a day where she's not gonna, need me so much, and it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to handle. But anyways, so um, a year ago today, I can't believe my baby's a year old. That's crazy. Um, I'll just talk a little bit about my labor, which actually started quite early. Her due date was October 7th or 8th. Um, so we closed our cafe, like we owned a cafe at the time. So we closed our cafe on October 1st so that I would have time to kind of like situate and get comfortable and have my little nesting moment because I was already having that. Um, so we closed the cafe and we just kind of like were like, okay, cool. The first few days were like, oh, this is so fun. We're so comfortable. But like by like day 11, we're like, okay, where you at? Which is like not necessarily the best mindset to be in because if you start like being like, where is she? Why isn't she coming out? Like it just makes it a lot more difficult to manage. So, I just tried to distract myself, clean my place, watch movies, which I like never do, um, and just have fun. But anyways, my my early labor, my prodromal labor, started probably around like the first. So I thought, okay, not too much longer now. And actually, I have a confession. In the earlier days, like maybe around the fourth, fifth, or something, I was like, is this what labor is? Because it's not that bad. Like, what are people talking about? It's not that bad. Um, not that it was bad, but it was just like as in the labor later on. But I just was like, this isn't even like this is nothing because it was prodromal labor. And for those of you that don't know what prodromal labor is, it means some people call it false labor, which I don't like to call it that because it is labor. It is something is happening with your body. Your baby is getting ready to come. So I don't like to call it false labor. Anyways, so my husband and I were just like, we were eating like so much Indian food and like just kind of hanging out at home. He was like kind of nesting as well, getting things ready. Um, and yeah, we were just like, okay, like when's this baby coming? At the end, like closer to my like my baby's birthday, which is October 18th, I was like on the birth ball all the time, like or an exercise ball, if you will. I was like, I was sitting on a chair facing backwards because, like, as in like the part that supports your back was like I was like leaning on it because it was honestly just the most comfortable and it was the best to like keep my pelvis open because that's super important. When you're late in pregnancy and into labor, is that you keep your pelvis open as much as possible so that your baby has space to pass through. So it was funny though because every night before bed, my partner would say to my belly, he's like, okay, it's nighttime. You can't come. Like, you cannot come tonight. You have to wait until tomorrow. And the night of the 17th, he said the same thing. I was like, oh, like kind of like had it like ingrained in my mind, like, she can't come at night. So I woke up in the night. This is now like the 18th, early morning. And I was like, something feels like different. And I didn't know what it was, but I was like, I think today's the day. So I tried to like rest and just like get comfortable, which if you've ever been late in your pregnancy, it's like nearly impossible to get comfortable no matter how many pillows or whatever fancy pillows you have. It's so tough. Anyways, and I just tried to like relax and do my breathing exercises, and just I kind of like felt, how do I describe it? Like the veil of reality kind of like rustling in the breeze. Like, I don't know, when you're in labor, it's like you're kind of like on a drug trip. Like you're not like a natural birth, like no drugs. I'm talking about your brain is just in a different zone. It's working a little different than it would usually. So I tried to wait for as long as I could, and I think it was around maybe 8 a.m. Maybe no, it was like maybe 6 a.m. I was like, okay, she's coming today, and it's time for us to go. So I really wanted a home birth with like a bath and just like, oh, just like my dream birth. But here in Cambodia, it's actually illegal to have a home birth, which is super, like, I understand the reasons why, and it's because their infant mortality rate was super high, because they were relying specifically on lay midwives. Um, so I understand the reason for that, and I'm not complaining for that. It's just like their practices weren't the safest compared to ones of a hospital today. Um, However, I think if a home birth is, attended by a skilled, trained midwife, um, my baby just woke up again. If oh no, if it's attended by a skilled midwife, I think that it's safe. I don't know about here in Cambodia, but for sure in Western countries, yes, please. My partner's like, can you go get her? I'm like, or can I go get her? I'm like, yes, please. Let me finish my video. So, anyways, um, I wanted that, and I knew I couldn't have it, so I was like, all right, I guess I'm gonna have to have a hospital birth, which I found a hospital or a clinic in town that was close to my house, which was amazing. And it was, um, they were flexible. Like they weren't like they weren't telling me all these rules that I had to follow. They were like, cool, you have the money to pay, then yeah, do whatever you want, which awesome. So, oh, because there was another hospital that a lot of foreigners go to in town, but they specifically told me that I had to give birth on my back in the lithotomy position, which no, I'm not doing that. And the reason I'm not doing it is because it's more painful for the birthing person to have to be in that position. And it's like, sorry, but like when you take a poop, you don't lay on your back. Like it's benefit for the provider. It's not benefit for the person giving birth. And sorry, but this is my birth, so this is what I'm gonna do. So this is the time of COVID was still like a huge deal. So we had to get COVID tests. We rode there in a remorque, which is like a wagon scooter. And I'm like in labor with my birth ball, like, woo, let's go. My doula meets us there. We do the test, and they're like, okay, you guys don't have COVID, so that's good. But now um, you have to do um, an ultrasound so we can like see what's going on. And I'm like, I am in labor. Like I am in active labor. I didn't like show up with 1 centimeter dilated, guys. Like I'm fully in labor. And they're like, it's just our policy, fun surprises that happen when you're dealing with medical stuff. So they like put me on my back so that I could do this ultrasound. It was super uncomfortable. But they're like, oh yeah, we think you're, yeah, okay. Yeah, you are really ready to go. I'm like, thanks. So they like left me in a room, like a like common room, and like set my partner and my doula up with all of our stuff, and they just like left me down there. And I was like, I hate this. I hate being by myself in a like hospital setting while I'm in labor. This is awful. And then my doula came and was like, maybe we could bring you upstairs. I'm like, I sure hope so, because I kind of hate this. So we went upstairs. And on that note, guys, this is going to be my part one because my baby is so upset and I can't listen to her crying. So part two is coming soon.